Engaging celebrity interviews. Exciting updates from Christian filmmakers. Movie reviews so you can choose your movies wisely. And so much more here on Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Faith on Film. So glad you joined us for today's episode. Aren't we, Holly?
We are so glad. and we're talking about something exciting. It's a new movie coming out. And I mean, everyone wants to see new faith-filled movies appropriately. And it's a movie, 47 Days with Jesus. Now, you guys have to spell out the 47. It's not the number. It's
That's right.
47 spelled out. Days with Jesus. Because I looked up just 47 days. It is not that.
It's not that. It's the word.
You can get it wrong, right? You can get it wrong. But the fun part is, Isaac, when they were filming this, they were at Capernaum Studios, filming the part where it goes back in history in the village. And I got a chance to go down there and take pictures with Cassie and Jonathan, who play Mary and Jesus, and I got a chance to see some of the numbers being done and the production. And it was so much fun seeing that. It's a beautiful film, isn't it?
It is. It really is. And you know what? Last week, I got a chance to, of course, interview Catherine Lidstone, who is one of the stars of the movie. She plays on the modern part. But today, you're going to get to talk with Jesus.
That's right. And Mary. And we'll give you a little clue, too. And they're going to say this in the interview. It's the first time that a mother and son have played Mary and Jesus in a movie.
A mother and son.
So important and so cool because it's a distinction that we have with this movie that no other movie has.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a look at the trailer here real quick, and then we're going to come back with you talking with, okay, he's not Jesus, he plays one on TV. Here we go.
Hey!
Dad, Papa just started telling us this amazing story with people singing and dancing.
Oh yeah? Dad, what are you telling them this time?
The story of the last 47 days of Jesus' life on earth.
Oh, you say the meeting is on Saturday? That's the day before Easter.
Yeah, so?
I gotta spend time with my family.
Don't you realize this is for your family?
Where's Joseph?
Oh, he's on a work call.
This late? You're making the same mistakes that I made. It's painful to watch.
I have to make a choice for my family.
I want my partner back. I want my family to be whole.
If you ever feel stuck or lost, God is still at work in our lives. I have faith things will be okay.
It's life, Joseph. You might miss it if you don't open your eyes.
That looks like a great trailer and something very unusual and different, right? Have you folks seen a movie like that? Not really. Well, I am proud to have with us the star, in my opinion, of the show, Jesus in the flesh. We've got Jonathan Byram. Jonathan, hello. Welcome.
Hi, Holly. Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
So happy to have you and excited to have you on the show. And honestly, this is something that's kind of in your forte, but more so than people think. Because you are a singer, aren't you? Music is your background. But
Music is my background. That's right.
Tell how you got involved with this project and why that merged together with the role you're playing right now.
Well, I'm a trained singer, a musician, and I live in Los Angeles. And so like a normal part of my work is like singing song demos for composers and songwriters who are working on projects. And a singer friend of mine named Darlene Coldenhoven, who produced all the vocals for this movie, got in touch with me to just sing some random song demo. And so I find out it's for like some musical about Jesus. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's great. Let's do it. So I sing one song. A few months later, she calls me again. Hey, we have another song for that musical project. Would you come in? They love your voice as Jesus. Like, come on back and we'll do another song. Say great. A few months later, same thing, another song, and maybe like 4 or 5 songs. This is over the course of like many, many months. And then, I do these song demos for other people and these projects, like, you never hear about what happens with them. So they usually don't get made. And all of a sudden, Darlene calls me again and goes, hey, they're making a movie out of this thing.
Wow.
Are you interested in playing the role on camera as Jesus? And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
You got the hair, the beard, everything to go. So
Well, and the hair was shorter at the time, but yeah, I had some facial hair, and they were like, you could, are you willing to grow your hair out? It's like, yes, let's do it. So I let it go for months and months and months, leading up to filming. And yeah, it's been kind of fun having the locks. So I've kept it.
It's a good look on you.
Thank you.
We've got to point out the fact that Jonathan Rumi, who plays Jesus in The Chosen.
Yes, love him. Yes.
You guys look exactly alike, but I bet after this movie you're going to start getting what he gets, which people coming up to him going, "Oh, Jesus," and that. It's kind of a funny thing to hear him talk about it, but I can see it happening, can't you?
It could happen. It could happen. In high school, I was president of the Christian club for a little while. I also had long hair in high school because I wanted to be a rock star and a hippie in high school. So one of my nicknames in high school was, in fact, Jesus.
It was prophetic.
It's come full circle. I'm embracing the role, and if that becomes a nickname again or whatever, that's fine.
Okay, if we go to a high school reunion, you're going to have to go, "Hey guys, remember the name you gave me back? Well, it came to fruition." Okay, I first want to set up before we talk about the movie. I've got a list here where you've done songs or music or things for Spider-Man in 2022, for Jurassic World, for Hairspray, for Hocus Pocus, Ellen DeGeneres Show. I mean, you've got a who's list of different projects. 14 that you've sung on. Are these like the theme song, or you've sung on them, or what was that with all these shows?
Yeah, the majority of them. I don't remember the Spider-Man one, but the majority of them, like Jurassic World and Hairspray and High School Musical and I think you're thinking of Spiderhead. That's a more recent movie.
Spiderhead.
Composer named Joe Trapanese. And so on most of those, I was hired to be part of the choir that was singing on the score, like throughout the whole movie. So I got to sing that epic John Williams theme song for Jurassic World, and then also the Home Alone remake. So I've gotten to sing some really cool music, but it's usually in a group setting on those big movies, where they hire a big choir to give you an epic sound.
Yeah.
And then occasionally I get some solo things. I got to do a couple commercials last year. This one commercial for Honda, they hired me to sing like a crooner, "Hey, buy a Honda" kind of thing. So that's like the kind of work that I'm used to, and it's usually off camera. And only occasionally does the singing work, lead to, like the story I just told you about Darlene bringing me in, and then it turns into an acting role. Only occasionally has that happened, and it's been on some stage things here in LA. I got to do this like avant-garde opera project last year, and again, it was because I can sing. And then like the acting has been this part of my life that's like slowly been growing and evolving. And then particularly with this film, it was a huge opportunity to try to grow in that way.
47 Days with Jesus. And by the way, folks, it's the number 40-7. So it's 47. It's not the number 47. Because
it's spelled out with letters.
Spelled out with letters. Right. Just briefly give me a synopsis of what it's about and what role you play in the movie.
Sure. So it's a story about a modern day family, actually. And this modern day family is having all kinds of trouble. But there's this grandfather who throughout the movie, tells the story of Jesus to his grandchildren. And this story that the grandfather is telling ends up having all these reverberations and lessons for the modern day family, for his son, for his relationship with his son, for his son's relationship with his family, with his wife, and with his kids. But anytime the grandfather launches into this, the story of Jesus, we get to cut to first century Palestine, Old Jerusalem, musicalized version of the Jesus story. And that's where I get to come in and sing these amazing songs and interact with these awesome actors and do really fun things like ride a donkey and walk on water.
Really fun things. And by the way, you filmed that at Capernaum Studios, and I had a chance to see you there filming, and it was so much fun to go on the set and to watch you and do some scenes. And did you have a good time at Capernaum? Did you have a good time there?
I had so much fun, yes, and it was so fun hanging out with you. And I wish so much right now that we were doing this at that barbecue place where we had a meal in the town there. That was so fun to hang out with you. And of course, yeah, really fun to walk around Capernaum Studios with you. And I had an amazing time there. And yeah, I got to ride a donkey down Old Jerusalem, down that street. I got to get my hands dirty with some mud and heal a blind man and hang on a cross. It was amazing. Yeah, and the setting was just incredible there. That was a really special part of the filming process, was being there.
It really was. It's an amazing studio. So you don't play the father in the present world. You just play Jesus in the flashbacks.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm just distinguishing because there's a guy that kind of looks a little bit like you that plays.
Yeah, he's got the long hair, he's got the beard, and yeah.
So just distinguishing. And
yeah, Yoshi's incredible. He was on The Chosen for a good while, and I got to meet him finally in person because we didn't film together because they were doing all the modern day stuff separately, and then later we did all the flashback stuff, all the musicalized Jesus story stuff. So I finally got to meet him at a cast hangout thing. He's just the sweetest guy, and he was very kind and said nice things about how I did Jesus and all that. So yeah.
Okay, I know this is kind of kitschy, but is there a line you can sing or two or part of a song that you remember, from the movie, or did you?
Oh my gosh, Holly, you're supposed to send me this stuff ahead of time to give me a heads up about what we're doing here.
Do you have any? Did you help write it, or did you have a hand in writing it, or did they just you just perform?
No, not at all. Yeah, they gave me sheet music written out. Emilio Palame, who had did a lot of work on this film in terms of the writing, the directing, and the arranging and orchestration, alongside with Roland, who wrote these songs. So I would receive them, and then as singers do, just sort of like kind of interpret as an actor and as a singer, maybe some rhythmical things and just expressiveness. And I got feedback from Emilio while I was doing them. And one of the most beautiful ones is the song that I sing while on the cross. And I sing this song to my mother, to Mary.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really, one of the more poignant songs. And then and the song is titled "My Dear Mother," and it begins, "My dear mother, do not gaze on me. There are others who will see what you ought not to see. You knew I was the one, God's one and only Son." And it continues from there, and then.
I want to go on and on. I'm like sitting here going, "Oh, I love this."
You're sweet. Thank you.
No, that sounds so good. Well, speaking of your mother, which was Mary, of course, at the cross, there's something very different and unusual about this movie, and that is that your mother in real life is playing Mary.
In real life is playing Mary.
Let's bring her on. We have her things. Let's bring her on. Cassie, are you there?
Hi, Holly.
Hi,
this is amazing.
In fairness, we caught you in the car, which is kind of not fair. So we had to kind of work out the technical difficulties. But yeah, but thank you for joining, because this is so unusual. First of all, you don't look old enough to be Mother Mary or maybe the mother of Jonathan. So it's kind of really great. You're an actress in your own right and do singing, but this is unique for you and Jonathan because I believe I'm right. There's never been a mother and son pairing on a film screen in a movie who played Mary and Jesus, right?
I believe you're right about that. So mother-son playing mother and son. So it's really fascinating, especially in these two roles. I haven't done the research, but I don't know of any other film or show where that's been done that way. So,
I don't either, and I've pretty much seen them all.
It's such a privilege and was such a surprise when this happened. It was kind of mind blowing. Just being on the set with my own son and having him play Jesus was an added level. So it was amazing.
Okay, he just sang us a little bit of the song that Jesus sang to Mary on the cross. Were you boo-hooing the whole time that he was singing that down there in real, for real?
Was I, Jonathan? Yes. It was hard for me to even give them those moments of holding back. But I was so moved and so in it. It didn't take much to be in it. Watching your own son on the cross, even when you're play acting, it's just the whole depth of that moment as God's only son. I'm watching my son. There was no way not to be moved in a really extreme way.
I was
really
just on the whole time, Jonathan.
Yeah, basically I was. Yeah.
Jonathan, how was it for you? I mean, you had to sing this song and look down on her. I mean, and how unusual. First of all, did you both come together as a package, or Jonathan, did you bring your mother on? How'd that happen, Jonathan?
Well, firstly, my mom is an incredible actor in her own right, and they were so lucky to have her, and she has, I think Darlene knew her to begin with anyway, and there was just nobody would be more perfect for the role. So I can't take any credit for anything. She deserves all the credit. Mommy deserves all the credit.
No, not true. We're gonna have
you guys got cast at the same time then? So then you knew together going in you were playing Mary and Jesus?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
right,
yeah. Actually, Jonathan led the way on this one. They cast him first. And then, like Jonathan said, I had worked with Darlene Koldenhoven before, and she was casting, and she recommended me to them.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Actually, I remember Darlene asked me, she said, Jonathan, do you think your mom would play Mary?
Yeah.
So I think they needed access to you through me.
Well, I think she was asking your permission. Do you mind if your mom is on set with you?
Oh, got it. Yeah.
I don't know. Either way,
we're a good team.
It was amazing. It was something that I never thought of. I'd never dreamed of. Yes, you're right, Holly. I've had an acting career since I was 19 years old. But the thought of actually doing something with my son, it just didn't occur to me. And then especially playing his mother. So this was really out of the blue, which is the way God does things. It's just so amazing.
Both of you doing this film and doing a musical, which is also very, very different from a scripted, storyboard, working from that story angle. What was it hard to do a musical together and then these characters, or did it flow relatively easy for you? Jonathan, what about you?
Well, yeah, for me, it was honestly very comforting to have music to guide me through the filming process. Being pretty new to acting, it gave me this anchor where, okay, I know what to say, I know when to say it, and I can kind of live expressively in the music. And then it was from there that, Emilio and David Gattell, the director on set, helped me kind of dig in deeper into the character. So for me, it actually, I believe, made it easier. And then for certain scenes where I got to, really lean more heavily on spoken dialogue, I was just lucky to be opposite some very good actors, Cameron Arnett in particular, to play off of and dig into the role that way. So I found the musical aspect of it to be really, really wonderful, and actually made it easier.
Cassie, how about you?
Yeah, I loved that there was music in the film. I really didn't do a whole lot of singing. I have a few lines, but it's mostly just on camera, mostly acting. So, but it's still wonderful to be involved in something that has this caliber of music in it. It's so beautifully integrated into the story itself. And I was thrilled to hear Jonathan because, as you heard already, he's pretty great.
Oh, that voice, yeah. can't really wait to see. The story and the present day part, I think a lot of families are going to relate to that. The workaholic dad, the belligerent teenage son. I wanted to smack him a couple of times, but that's just when he turned around from the refrigerator and said, "I'm eating," and he has a chicken thing in his hand, I wanted to go, "Okay, not okay at our house." I laughed. But and then the wife and the husband. So they're having struggles. Let's just give a story back up. They're having some struggles. You did kind of, Jonathan, but there's resolve at the end, and because you're tying in the faith with the grandfather's stories. But did the kids end up taking those stories, or does the dad go through the journey too? How are you connecting that?
That's a good question. And to be honest with you, Holly, I actually haven't seen the whole movie yet.
Okay, because
so I get to discover this along with everybody else. I was completely in it, with filming the Jesus part of the story.
Yeah.
And then I've gotten little snippets of this family story. And one thing that in an interview, one of the lead actress, Catherine, she said it's this beautiful story that we need right now because it shows a family in crisis that pulls through.
Yes.
That succeeds, that doesn't fall apart, and that. I mean, I teared up the first time I heard her describe that part of the story, and it's beautiful. I'm married and I have 2 kids, and I know how hard family life is and can be, and so I'm just really proud to be part of the movie for that reason.
And you live in LA, both of you do, which to me. Yeah. That raises the level of how hard it is to be an actor and to be in the business in California and LA. I'm sorry, but it is. I've been there, and it's a different world out there,
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it is, and you have been a part of this out here, Holly. And I mean, it was Valentine's Day yesterday, and my husband and I had dinner with another couple, and we were talking kind of sadly at one point about how many of our friends in the business are no longer together, and they didn't make it. It's rough. It's really rough. But what I love about this film is the fact that yes, there's a lot of resolve and there's a lot of hope at the end. But it's not all wrapped up in a neat little bow. It doesn't make it look like, okay, you do this, you do that, and then bada bing, bada boom, it's all fixed. It's a journey, and the real message is you've got to hang in there, because really God's love is never ending. It's steadfast, and He will come through for you, but we have to stay in it. That's the message. We have to stay in it.
I'm glad you said that. That's so important. Okay, when is this movie going to come out? Do you guys know? And because we did interview Catherine, so we're going to be promoting it. I'm just letting you know. And are you going to be at any premieres? Is there a big special thing that's going to be happening for it?
March 11th, 12th, and 14th are the days when it's in theaters around the country. Me and some of the disciples are for sure going to go see it together. I think on the 11th, so I'm really excited about that.
You and the disciples.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Jesus and the disciples are going to go watch the movie.
Yeah, we hang out. Peter, Joshua Triplett, he hosted a Super Bowl party the other day. So I got to hang out. It's great.
It reminds me when I worked on The Passion, and I was on set in Italy, and I was standing there, and the guy that played Peter, is from Italy. He was Italian, and most of the cast were from different countries, so not everybody could speak the same language or hang out. And I said, "Hey, are there any of the cast members that you hang out with?" And he was smoking a cigarette. He goes, "Well, John, Judas, and I, we like to hang out. We like to go have dinner together and drinks."
Of course, it was Judas.
John, Judas, and I, we like to go hang out.
Oh.
So anyway, that flashed in my mind when you said that the disciples and I are going to go hang out. I had to laugh and go, "Yeah,
that's funny."
I'm sure you guys aren't smoking, and it's a whole different world. But
no, it doesn't seem like anyone's smoking. But I got to tell you, this cast is amazing. They are young and on fire, and it was such a privilege for me to work with this young group, including the director, on-set director, and it was very encouraging about the future of film and faith. It was really encouraging to be a part of this with with these amazingly talented, on fire young people. It was great.
Well, I've enjoyed having both of you on. I look forward to seeing it in theaters. We're going to be promoting it, and I'm excited to see your careers, both of yours, take off. And Jonathan, stay in touch if you have other movies you're singing on or part of. Come back and let us know. I'd love to have you come back and sing something.
Cool, great. Let's do it.
See you too.
Thank you, Holly.
And you're welcome. I love to see you too, Cassie, and let's keep up on your career. And God bless both of you for the most amazing performances in a wonderful movie. And you have the honor of being the first Mary and Jesus, mother and son. And I think that's a neat thing to go to heaven with.
High five, Mom. Hi, my name is Jonathan Byram. I play Jesus in 47 Days with Jesus, and you are watching Faith on Film.
Great interview, Holly. You know, one of the things that you talked about was how it was a musical, and I remember the marketing people saying, well, we don't want to market it as a musical, but
Well, the thing is, the first half, it's not. It's, real life drama and dramatic situations. So I can see why they don't want to say the whole thing is a musical. And then people are like, I don't want to see it. But when they go back to the village, there are several musical numbers, and we just talked about it. So
yes, there are.
Kind of the musical. Jonathan, who plays Jesus, Isaac, he is in his own right. He's been doing movies and doing soundtracks and singing on big movies. If you IMDb him, folks, this isn't his first film, and he's done amazing things with his music career. I mean, he did a little bit of it when we were in the interview, and then Cassie, of course, is an actress too. So it was just fun to talk to both of them and hear their energy. And again, being the only mother and son who played Mary and Jesus, pretty unique, as far as that goes. But it's a beautiful film. We really encourage people to see it. And Cameron's in this, right? Cameron Arnett?
Yes, he's in it, but he didn't sing.
He didn't sing.
I was waiting for that.
Cameron is the Kevin Sorbo of Christian films. He's in everything. And I just had to mention, because he's our friend and we love him, but he's in this movie too. So there's actually a lot of stars that are in this movie. I think people are going to enjoy. And again, it's a different take on people's perception of religion and stories. The grandfather that introduces this to the younger generation. So I kind of like the whole fact that had that grandfather, passing down stories and Christianity to his grandchildren and picking it up with a family that unites the family. So it's a good story, folks. It really is.
Yes, it is. And I think the reason that they were saying they didn't want to market it as a musical is because there's a lot of people that I guess don't like musicals. I happen to love musicals, but you're going to love it. Trust me. Even if you're not into musicals, you're going to love this one because it is absolutely fantastic. And again, it's only half of it that's music.
It is only half, and it's an unusual story, uniquely done and beautifully told. So we really encourage it.
Yes, absolutely. So remember, 47 Days with Jesus. That's the word 47, not the number 47. All right. So just look it up, and it's out on theaters for I think it's like 3 days as a Fathom event. But I know that after that it'll be streaming. So you want to look it up and watch it wherever you can. Just watch it. All right. Well, Holly, we did it again.
A great show. Thanks. God bless everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye now.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV, and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on our latest Faith on Film shows.